So this weekend is the Mountain Mafia Wake the Squatch event. We'll be headed to North Idaho shortly. And what have we been working on here to get ready for the multiple events that are going on? We've got not only the NMRA mud races, but a $2,500 bounty hole sponsored by Clearwater Pools. In addition to that, we've got the Havoc qualifier for more spots given out for Mountain Havoc 2021. And, of course, open wheeling to all wheelers of all kinds. Mud, rocks, hills, trails, whatever. You name it, they've got it. But what have we been getting ready here? We've got several trucks that were options for us to get ready to take. It just needed a motor, a transmission, or some combination of work to get going. Like this short box, or my step side that I just need to put a motor in that I've been talking about for years. My blue and white GMC with a 502. Maybe we'll take out disappointment. Or maybe I'll get a bunch of stuff done on Carnage in time. But with all these options around here, we've finally made a decision on what we have the amount of time to deal with and get going. This thing. So in the last week, or 2 weeks actually, we've had a lot going on. And we really wanted to have time to do some motor installs, some transmission rebuilds, some axle swapping. It just, of course, didn't work out. Every time there's an event, things come up. There's more important priorities in life that come up. So what are things going on right now that are distracting me from working on the play toys? So some of the things that are going on with deadlines by this weekend include trying to get someone and their stuff out of a rental house so it can be sold. Trevor decided this weekend he's got to move a mobile home, which means I've got to get the big International ready to go and ready to tow. And it's got 2 dead batteries, a tire off a bead, and expired tabs. We've also got a deadline on another place where we're clearing out some rigs that I bought from a guy I used to know who passed away, and they've got to get all the deals finalized by this weekend, hopefully, so they can get everything clear off the property in time and get that place on the market. I've also got to get this K30 ready for Jason Moon to pick up. In addition to that, I should be working on videos for past events that I haven't even touched yet or finished. So despite these deadlines and things that I'm supposed to be around for this weekend, I am still going to the event. I have plenty of excuses to use to not go, but I'm still going. I'm finding a way to go. Maybe not with the biggest mud trucks, maybe not with the most capable off-road machines, but we are still going. I've got to be there anyways because I've got the Northwest Mud Racers Association duties for the NMRA for mud racing Saturday. Also, we've got to be there for the bounty hole to film that, and for the Havoc qualifying to film that, because we are down 2 of our fellow Canadian filmers, Orville and Blaine, who usually work with us on video projects. So I've got to make up for that. They can't be there. I got to be there and film this content. Sorry everyone that I haven't got anything posted lately, but anyways, computer problems, technology errors. So I'd like everyone to meet Clunker. It's a 1981-ish K10 Chevy truck that we actually got from Dave's place, hauling out all of his vehicles, and this was the roughest one there that was still complete. It's got a 6.2 diesel body, or cab and nose, on a gas K10 truck frame. It's been sitting for at least, we want to say 7 years, possibly up to 10 years. We don't know for sure. It could even be longer than that, but we got it towed home. It was a plow truck and a work truck, and I don't think he was too attached to this vehicle based on how rough the body was, and it was just going to be a beater work truck, and that's what it's going to be now, except we're going to throw some 36-inch swampers on it, and we're going to see what this truck will do this weekend. It's not going to be impressive, but hey, it's something. If I really think about it personally myself, I'm not going to have time to wheel anything anyways, considering all the other competitions going on this weekend that I have to be a part of or film. So do I really even have time throughout this entire weekend? So I've got to look at things this way. It's a beater truck. It's nothing impressive. Robert's probably going to drive the thing because, in all honesty, with the NMRA races, the bounty hole, and the Havoc qualifying, I'm not going to have time to personally have fun with any of my own off-road vehicles. So got a lot of stuff to do here at home, but we're still going to make it to the event. and we're gonna see how Clunker does.
Putting Clunker to work.
So this is how Dave towed this here probably 15 plus years ago or more. More like almost 18 years ago. Huh? And now we're going to use the wrecker that he hauled it down from my place into here to move it out of here onto my trailer to go back to my place. So yeah, it's been over 15 years, so So, taking off with the Suburban that I gave Dave, bought it back. went and picked up 2 more square bodies that I gotten from Dave's place, and the Impala's Robert's. But this one here has a hood that was actually one I sold to Dave for probably like 20 bucks or something years ago. It got set onto this truck. There's no motor train or transfer case in it. But that was the hood off the green machine, as I called it. And this Suburban was actually one I bought for the lift. It had a 6-inch lift under it when I got it. And it had been hitting the front, so the nose clip was kind of rough. So looks like Dave put a different nose clip on it. But I basically parted this one out, pulled the lift off of it for my green Suburban, which is over there. The lift went onto that years ago. This was back in the days when I didn't know what to do with all the extra stuff, or the excess, I should say, the hulks of the rigs after I tore all the parts off them I wanted, and I didn't want them laying around. So Dave was interested in this one, so I gave it to him. And I actually remember because I pulled the axles out. I think I'd sold the axles, the springs and lift I kept for my Suburban. And he came up with the wrecker, and I think he brought, in fact, when we loaded this, it jogged some memories because this shackle is all pushed back. And now I remember that he brought this axle up with springs attached to put under it so he could sling the front with his wrecker and have a rear end under it to tow it all the way home from here to his place where we just picked it up. And we put these springs under it, and they were too long because it says 52s, and he brought 56s, and I remember we had that issue, but it still worked. So, but it's just kind of weird how it jogged my memory on that. So anyways, it's back here again. Okay, take off with a bunch of engines here. Last truck that I've purchased and picked up is on the trailer. All the other engines are in there, carts and stands and stuff. So this one's a 73 or 4 Chevy, and it's actually like one of the few that actually still came with a battery. Looks like I got a wiper motor missing, but the engine's there, transmission's there. I'm assuming it's a 350, turbo 350. Oh. Well, it says it came with a 307 2-barrel. That's a Quadrajet 4-barrel. I don't know if it's still a 307 or it could have been swapped to a 350, but I have to run some numbers and maybe we'll see if we can fire this up. Which of course we'll, yeah. Don't see anything there. Doesn't look the cleanest either. what surprises do we have on the dipstick, if I can reach it. It does have oil that doesn't look horrible. So, at least it doesn't look like a milkshake. So wherever the coolant went, maybe it just had a slow leak. Cobwebs there. So a little bit of priming fuel and the carb. Okay. And it fires up. You know, the 73 Chevy's been sitting for quite a few years in the back corner of Dave's property. Got a battery in it, a little bit of fresh fuel. Got power. Time to move some stuff and move on to Trailer Tuesday. So I guess this is going to be on the road in 2 days with 2 vehicles on. I think they're trying to pull start Vlad, which doesn't sound like it's working. Because we need to unload that truck, get the Volkswagen off of it so we can use the flatbed and liftgate to bring up some 55-gallon drums of off-road diesel for the backhoe so that we can continue to use the backhoe. This Suburban hasn't run in 2, 3, 4 years, something like that. There she goes. A little priming gas and a battery. Uh-oh. That's Starlink. So it's like 2 in the morning. Trailer Tuesday did not work out as planned, of course, because we accomplished almost nothing on the trailers. Didn't even touch the 50-footer. Didn't do anything on the red trailer. Tried to do stuff on the 33-footer. Ended up finding more problems with the motor and the truck blazer. Ended up working on that. Ended up working on other things. We did get an exhaust hooked up on the step side. And this transmission and transfer case in this gray short bed. So still working on stuff. I don't know how I used to do this years ago and bring 5 trucks, but we're gonna keep trying to bring 3 or something. Got to get the trailers ready. This truck is not supposed to be hooked to this trailer. We got to switch that around. Probably gonna have to unload that. That still needs the stud girdles put back on it. Big International, we got to get that ready because I think Mud's driving that. And got the plywood unloaded off it. Still got 2 dead batteries in it. Rear tire off the bead. This truck will not be going as a tow rig because I still haven't figured out the death wobble. Still need to change the steering gear box and drag link. This trailer, I think, has to go as an alternative because this trailer is not going to be ready. Still need a bunch of parts for it that I don't have, and they're 2 hours away, and every 2 hour trip in is a 2 hour trip back, and usually at least an hour in town, if not more. This truck finally moved under its own power. I drove it last night, or well, early this morning, for the first time since I bought it. Finally put a transmission in it, but it's not just to put a transmission in it, because I tightened up a bunch of bolts that were loose. This thing tightened up the steering box. Actually, some friends helped with that. Thank you to Justin, Chuck, and Skip, and Bill. Then Robert helped me get the transmission in, and Jason. I had to make a drive line, or I should say I shortened the drive line that was from the Suburban this stuff came from. But then this truck has been a nightmare since I got it with wiring. I like to clean this up. Cooling fans aren't working for some reason. I got to trace that down. But the last physical thing to bolt down was I noticed still playing the steering, not as much as before, but I went to go tighten the studs for the steering arm on the driver's side, and they just were already broke off. It had been that way since I got the thing. So now there's the ends of these two studs in the knuckle, which means this whole steering arm's got to come off and extract two bolts that are busted off in the knuckles. So are we ready to go yet? Not even close. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got to leave town and not come back till tonight, so I don't even have any time to work on these. Start putting the shocks back on it. Tried to grease everything, swap the tires onto this off of the step side. And speaking of, got new rear brake calipers. Still got to go find my other two 39.5s, or put different 39.5s on that are stored somewhere else right now. The engine is in. We got the new water pump on. Need to bolt the power, finish bolting power steering pump on, fuel pump, starter, belts, pulleys, hoses, lines, radiator, which is there, carburetor. Hopefully that carburetor is still good after sitting 3 years. And then fire it, break this engine in. The keys, of course, are nowhere to be found for this truck anymore. So we've got to pull the column apart and change the key switch. And then I'll find the keys, I'm sure, but it's been like 5, 6, 7 years since I drove it. I've looked through most of my keys. They're there somewhere. I looked in my old motorhome I used to stay in when I last drove this truck. Could not find any keys, but I did, however, find my cousin's wedding present from 2009 that I still haven't given her. Can't be here today because I have to leave here shortly to license another flatbed truck to go get 55-gallon drums of diesel for the backhoe. And then that's like an hour and a half away. Then run further south to Spokane to pick up some stuff, drop off some stuff, do laundry, come back here, finish all of this, and then get to Moyie, which is like 3-point-something hours away from here, after a 2-hour drive to Spokane, after a 2-hour drive in Spokane, plus all this on the trucks, and get there by tonight. So I'm definitely not getting there anytime soon. Well, this thing just was running perfectly. We pulled in here and parked and go to leave, and now it's doing this. So now fate's even stopping me from getting back home to work on the other trucks. Plan was to pull the engine, transmission, and transfer case out of this because we had a different motor for it. So Robert basically unbolted that whole engine, had it ready to lift out of there, and then we were going to put this 505 in, and we started getting things ready here, and the bearings do not look too great in it, so we kind of abandoned that idea because we still had to get intake gaskets, everything. Just thought we'd save time by just putting it back together and fixing that motor. So we pulled valve covers off the 498, found that two intake rocker arms had basically popped off. One push rod was down in the lifter valley. Pulled the intake off that. Luckily I had intake gaskets for for an oval port intake, and put it back together. Got everything figured out. Then all the teeth on the ring gears, well, not all of them, but enough of the teeth on the ring gear of the flex plate stripped out to where went to replace the starter and a new starter. Actually, that was another new starter originally. 2 new starters. Basically won't turn the engine over. So now got to pull the engine out by unbolting everything again, lifting the engine up, pulling it forward to replace the flex plate, and then put it all back together again. Now it's raining, but even though it's raining, like I think the latest problem has been figured out. Almost everything in this ignition system failed. Already replaced the coil, the box, and now the distributor itself, the MSD. It's back to a stock HEI, but now that misses away, so it fires up and it runs again. We're still a long ways. This trailer is not hooked to the truck that's supposed to be towing it. This truck fired right up. Got to get air in a 22.5 that's off the bead. We're supposed to be there earlier today. And I still have a fuel pump to put on, starter, alternator, fire up, break in a new motor, and then we've got 2 wheel studs, or excuse me, 2 steering arm studs and a knuckle busted off, which I didn't get new studs for because I didn't make it into town in time before they closed. And it's dark and it's raining, and we're not going to make it to Moyie tonight. Fingers crossed tomorrow. My system of perfect lists here. What we've got is you have run down the list here that I left for the international, and once you've got to this, it correlates to this one, and now we can move on the line down to here.
Change tires.
So we'll skip that one, and we'll just bring extra spares.
Cool.
And that's kind of progress, right? First fire attempt at 4:38 in the morning. That's idling on its own now. I think we've done everything on the list, but put the hood on. Yeah, we got a mismatched plug wire. It's almost like it's Wednesday or Thursday. It's actually Friday, but if we were at this point, like late Wednesday, we'd almost be on schedule. But it's Friday. We're gonna pull in late. One of the latest I've ever been where I've actually brought multiple vehicles. We're about ready to start the long drive over and attend the 2021 Moyie Mud Bog. Do it in memory of Mona Fancher, the Dirty Mother. Gotta do the parade wave. It's now group dinner time. So we're all eating. I brought the sweets. So it's been a while since I've had a trailer blowout, but all of a sudden I heard a rumble and looked back and feel something, and sure enough, this tire lost its tread. So I'm starting to pull over to try to figure out what's going on, and within about 30-35 seconds I hear the same noise again, but from the other side. And this one went. It's a 2-for-1. 2 for Thursday or something. I'm literally like less than 10 miles from home. I do have 2 spares though.
Change tires.
So we'll skip that one and we'll just bring extra spares. Cool. So things have kind of gone full circle with this Suburban now. Saw it there and figured, you know, there's not much good left on it. Whoever buys the rest of the stuff's just gonna scrap it. So if it's just gonna get scrapped anyways, I might as well be the one to do it. Pull off the last couple remaining possibly usable parts. That's the rear end we brought up here, and we kind of bolted it under so we could move it 20 years ago, and now we're gonna go ahead and finish off where I left off, I guess.